the days for agendas available.
If there's no changes to the agenda as distributed, does anyone have any changes they want to make? Okay, the
I
agenda.
don't.
Okay, agenda is the way it's distributed. Approval of the minutes from the May meeting as distributed. If there's no corrections, it's automatically approved. Does anyone have any corrections I want to make to the May 26th meeting?
It looked okay to me.
Okay, now this part is reserved, and I don't do it as good as most of the chairs, but like Ross. But if there's anybody public who wants to say something, now's the time to do it. Okay, is there nobody there?
Nobody here.
Okay, then we'll move on to the financial statement, May's monthly financial. Is that Barbara?
Yes, it is. Okay, we'll start on page 16, which is the statistics and volumes page. The month of May, the acute care had an average daily census of 3.6. Swing beds were 0.6 for a total of 4.2. The SNF, they had an average daily census of 49.1. Year to date, they're at 49.6. And the prior year, they were at 55.1. I looked at it this morning and they're up a little bit in the month of June, but not a lot. The emergency room, there were 557 visits, which is about 17.9 visits a day. Year to date, they're at 5,474. And the prior year, they were at 6,325. Outpatient visits, we had 1,731. Year to date, 16,333, and that's exceeding the budget and last year's greatly. A lot of that has to do with all the extra visits we had with the COVID testing and the clinic visits were 1,403 for the month. Specialty clinic visits were 263, and in the mobile van, they saw 286 patients. So their visits are still up. In surgery, we had no inpatients, 4 outpatients, and 50 scopes for the month. So year to date, they're pretty much in their surgeries where they were last year. Their scopes are up a little bit, 445 as compared to 337 on the year to date. Retail pharmacy, they filled 3,198 scripts. Year to date, they've filled 36,472, and that's a little bit less than the prior year to date of 38,000. Anybody have questions on volumes?
I don't have any.
Go back to page 11, which is your revenue and expenses for the month. Being driven by the volume. Our gross revenue for the month was $9,365,000. Prior year at the same month, it was $7,942,000. After our deductions from revenue, we ended up with an operating revenue of $2,761,000. And with our expenses at $2,958,000 for the month. And our non-operating revenues, we ended the month with a loss of $92,117. Whereas last year for the same month, we were at a loss of $298,117. Questions on the monthly report?
Nope, not me.
The following page is the year-to-date. So on a year-to-date basis, our revenue is higher than the prior year for the same period, but greatly under our budget. And our expenses are higher than the prior year, and about slightly under our budget. We ended year-to-date, we're currently sitting at a loss of $270,557. Last year, for the same period, we were at a loss of $998,000. Anybody have any questions year-to-date wise?
Do you have enough red ink?
What?
Do you have enough red ink?
Yeah.
It looks like you could be wearing it out.
I'm not trying to.
Thank you.
No other questions?
No.
Can we
No, I don't have any questions either.
move on to page 20? This is our calculation of the days in the accounts receivable at 86.9 at the end of May, and our accounts payable, which were 37.1 at the end of May. The following page 21 is our cash flow. We started with $1,197,000. We collected, or we had received $4,218,000. Now of that, $2,339,000 was other than from revenue generated receipts. We had tax payments. We had prior year, a couple of small prior year settlements. And we also had an IGT come in. That was $1,800,000 during the month. We paid out $3,300,000. In that, we had a small IGT we funded for the state of California, $385,000. And we've been making deposits into the account that will be paying our new bond principal when it comes due. We put in $257,000 this month. What we're doing is paying a monthly amount. Right now, we were still catching up, but we're paying a monthly amount so that we don't have to pay it all right at the end. After our non-operating revenues, we ended up with a cash balance of $8,145,000.
That's green ink, right?
Lacking.
For the moment.
Lacking.
Just want to clarify the colors.
Anybody have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Coming in.
That's kind of the end of that report. We don't have any of the supplemental reports from Chet this month.
We don't?
No, we don't,
Why?
because he's
Chet's been in the
unavailable.
hospital.
Tim, how come you didn't let us know?
I did the other day at one of our meetings.
Pardon me?
I did it the other day at one of our meetings.
Which one?
Building and plan.
Building planning.
Don't you think you should have let us know when it happened? Catherine, what do you think? Do you think that?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Maybe
yesterday I
should know
heard
it.
in the one meeting that he was in the hospital, but I didn't know, I mean, how long he'd been gone or how long he actually, if we know of a plan of how long he is going to be gone and if Barbara's taking over
Barbara's
his
been
portion
dealing,
of it.
Barbara's been dealing with the day-to-day operations. I did keep Ross aware as soon as I found out about it.
Okay, Tim, we're the chair and the committee person for treasure. We're the treasurer. We're the one that's got our ass in line if what are you doing? What do you mean, Ross?
Ross is chairman of the board, so my first response was to call
Oh,
him.
yeah, we're the treasurer.
Okay, Gene,
feel like
I apologize. If that's the case, I apologize. I did mention it yesterday. That's like I said, Barbara has had things under control. And I've been working with her on that. So
We need to have a meeting to figure out, to make a transition to where if he's in there longer, or we need to have a special board meeting with all the board members to figure out what we need to do.
yeah,
I mean, for HIPAA reasons, I don't know that we should discuss that completely on here for sure.
you can't.
But-
Yeah, we don't. need
Right,
to
that's
discuss
what I'm
this.
saying.
Which is one of the reasons why we couldn't do it at some of the other ones, you know.
Yeah.
so-
Okay,
We
We're
just
just-
need to
I
see
think
the
it's a-
transition, period, not because of his health reasons. So,
right.
Tim,
But I just hopefully can, after this meeting or something, be informed about how long he may be out. Just based on the information you provided yesterday.
Okay,
That would be helpful.
I will get that to you as soon as I hear more.
okay, when can we talk about transitioning? Because bless his heart, we love him, we all love him. But if anything happened to him, or if he quit or whatever, what do we do?
Then we will probably have a meeting, sit down and call a special meeting to talk about that.
Okay, we're gonna talk about what we need to do.
Well, we will when we get to that point where we understand what his situation is.
Tim? I know.
Tim, I think what he's asking is can we set that up now so we have that
I've
we're
already
aware
had some of
of
those
the plan you
conversations
guys
with the
have?
governance committee.
Right, we did,
This is the finance committee.
I get
Right.
it.
Now,
You were on, Nick, Joy, you were on that call at governance committee.
well, I wasn't participating.
Well, you still could hear it.
Normally Ross is on this meeting, and we need to, I know that things are going good for you. There, you can, Chet says, oh, we got money. Well, you said that yesterday at the meeting. Chet said, we got the money, we can do it.
Yep.
Well, you're the one that said we got the money, we can do it. And Chet was supposed to show it, and he hasn't been able to do it. What do we do?
We will show you the money as soon as Chet is back and we're able to do so. He produces those reports. That's the issue. So it's not that we don't have money. Nothing has changed. Chet's comments from the month before have only gotten improved because of the IGT money we received. As we indicated, we got over $5.5 million of additional IGT money this month. So that's only improved our situation, our cash situation.
Right.
So that's after the comment that Chet made that he had the money.
Okay, well, where is it after? I mean, we've had a windfall because of the other. Okay, well, I guess I'll get Ross. We need to have a special board meeting to discuss the transition, how we're gonna do it. It's not working.
Well, we don't know if there's a transition yet. I mean, like I
Okay,
said,
Well, okay, let me ask you this. For the last 4 meetings, I've been asking Chet where the money is. For the last 4 months, where is it? Do you know?
In the bank.
it's in the bank.
A lot of it's in LAIF. We have a lot in LAIF still.
I'm talking about the money that we're gonna pay in the future.
It's in late.
Forward with something, that 8 million will be gone before you know it. Then where are we gonna get the rest of it?
But look at the balance sheet. We've got a lot more than 8 million in there.
Okay, how much is in there?
Barbara,
The current, we've got 8,000,007. In the limited use, we've got 25 million.
it's 33 million.
Okay. How is that paid out? Chet was supposed to lay it out what that money's used for, how it's used, how we pay it out.
We haven't been paying it out. It's sitting in the bank.
We haven't done any construction yet. We're still,
Say how-
what we've been doing right now is the architectural work. And that's the part that, obviously we're working on right now. And as soon as that's done and we get the approval from Oshpod and the building permits, then the rest of that will continue.
Okay, and with the.
But that's not going to happen without the board knowing and approving those next steps,
Right.
as
Okay.
we've said.
With the cost of the material, with the cost of construction, with everything going up, our funds are shrinking. At any
Oh, yeah.
rate, we need to deal better with what we're doing and have it. You give a bunch of generalities. It's not, 5 years from now, if you're retired, whenever everything's happening, we're gonna say, well, Chet said money's there. But anyway, okay. What page? Barbara, were you finished with your reports?
The
That's
local,
not having is.
the local vendor report is the next report, unless anybody has any questions on it. You can see the 30-day out for May is only $8,000.
Yeah, okay.
And then you have your contract list. Do you want to go down every contract, or have you looked at it? Do you have any questions on anything?
I don't have any questions on it per se. I just, yesterday, part of the conversation was that we had in a different meeting about, putting the aging out to 60 days.
Mhm.
Was that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, instead of the 45 days. That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm not sure there's a reason to go to 60 days because we're pretty much meeting the 30 days. I don't want to see us go backwards. And I know you have different contracts with different people of what
Well-
the agreements would be. Some of them may be 60 days. So,
They can be
and-
anywhere.
The 30
And
days, the
some are
local vendors, Catherine, this is a local vendor report, which we try to keep them lower. Okay,
Right.
that's what this is. So,
right.
but you gotta look at all of our vendors, and that's where the 60-day came in, just for.
Right. And so, but we don't show those on here, do we?
Not in this report, no, because this is a report
Right.
for local vendors.
I know, but when on a different report, do we have
Yes.
those?
Oh, yes, we do.
That's the next one, right?
No, we bring that periodically to the
Okay.
finance committee. That's the one that's
Okay.
all of our vendors on that one. That's the detail.
Okay, and when you say periodically, can you remind me how often that is? Is that a quarterly we look at it?
So when they asked that report be brought to the committee, they decided that everything looked kind of in line. They didn't need to look at it every month. They would review it probably twice a year or as requested by a board member. So
Okay,
you could request it at any time.
okay, so I probably have a copy of that. I will go back and look.
And if
It's just,
not,
I guess my understand, excuse me?
I said, if not, I will make sure you get one.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I have it. I guess in the conversation yesterday, I wasn't quite clear and I should have asked then, if that's just on the local or on the, non-local vendors.
I think that was meant for everything.
Okay,
Catherine, if I can, I'm the one
yes,
who asked for that. And the reason I asked for it, Greenbow had money owed for 3 years. And I was trying to get to who
Tom
we
Cross,
owe.
please dial 271. Tom Cross, please dial extension
So,
271.
and yes, we need to have it at least quarterly. And yes, we need to have it, what was it, 30 days? What was it before, Barbara? It shouldn't be changed.
it was at 45 days is what our goal
No,
was.
that's just a goal that's one of my goals for next year, okay? From
Right.
my managing-
That's what I was
Okay.
talking about.
What Chet did before, he wasn't paying because we didn't have the money. We weren't paying our hospital bills. We weren't paying our claims. We weren't paying. And it crept up on us. Nobody knew we were so far behind. Chet knew, and
So-
collection, our employees were in collection. So we want to know. if
That
we're-
has all been corrected, okay?
I know it's been corrected. We want to make sure it stays that way.
Well, that's one of the reasons for the goal that was put in place. Okay?
But
Right, and I think,
besides your
Tim, the
goal,
reason
Barbara-
I'm asking is because we are doing as well as we are. I
Right,
think if we continue to stay at it, that's just a better. You're already meeting those higher goals.
sure. Well, that's,
I would
again,
hate this,
we don't
Go
want to,
ahead.
we don't want to see it go down. That's the issue. Sorry for cutting it.
Right.
that's okay, but that's why I'm saying if we extend it to 60 days, then we're like, oh, it's okay if we're another, 2 weeks late.
We're not
But
extending
I
it to
think you're
60
meeting
days.
those goals now. I'd like to see you continue to meet those. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I am, but we're not exceeding 60 days. I mean, in other words, we're not, 45 days was an arbitrary number that Ross just came up with.
Right,
Okay?
and it's working.
60 days is fine. I mean, that's what I'm getting at. So,
The report Barbara gives us from this. we
One is under 30 usually, yeah.
right, but we do that because we want to keep the local vendors
For
happy.
30 days, put it on there.
Okay.
Is there a problem with that, Barbara?
I'm sorry, I didn't totally hear what you said.
Okay, the report for all the companies that are over 30 days, more than. There shouldn't be anything over 30 days unless
No,
couldn't find where to mail it or something, but
no, we have payment terms that we're going to work obviously based on our contracts. That's
Right.
why we set the goal at 60 days, because a number of them are longer than 30 days. So the
so,
issue is, like I said, we want to manage it and keep that at that 60 or less if we can. That's the goal.
okay, I don't care
wanna go
about
above that.
those, Tim, that's between you and Ross. I'm
That was,
saying
no, that's
we
for
want to
the,
be able, we want to look at all of the vendors
we
that's
can
over.
do that. We can certainly look at that. We'll bring that to here on a
Do
quarterly basis like you requested.
you think quarterly's okay, Catherine?
Yeah, I'm sure quarterly's fine. I just was like, I just think that because we're doing so well at this point with the local ones, that I'd hate to see us put them out any farther if it's not needed. Even though
Okay.
our contract may be saying, within 60 days, that doesn't mean 62 days. I'd like to see it, stay to where we're still doing it within the terms. And I'll go back and look at my paperwork because I have them and I just verify that. I just wanted to, I guess my point was, Tim,
Yeah,
goal wise, which is a different meeting, and I understand that even though I was talking financial,
yeah.
I think they're very capable of meeting those goals. You guys have been doing that at this point. Correct?
The goal is to keep it under 60. That was the deal.
That was what you suggested yesterday. Yes.
Correct. That's correct.
You can keep it under 60, but we can verify it over 30.
Yeah.
How much trouble is it to do that? It's a computer, it's the information's there. All you do is ask for it, right?
Yeah.
I'll just,
Just run a
you know
report.
what? I will talk to Ross and wait till he comes up because I know it was a suggestion made yesterday and he was going to rework everything.
Right.
So I will wait and see what he comes up with before I ask any more questions on this.
No. Like I said, the bottom line is the finance committee certainly has the right to request those reports where we can look at the detail and so forth, and we'll bring those. As Heidi mentioned before, we brought it before, we looked at it, everybody felt that it was in pretty good shape. And that's why they said we don't need to see this every month. So that's why we're gonna bring that periodically. So Gene says he wants that quarterly, so we'll do that quarterly. We have no problem with that whatsoever.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay. Okay, where were we at, Barbara?
On the
vendors, the contracts?
Contracts, yes. Are there any questions or does
Can you-
anybody want to address?
How many are there? There's only those?
Yes.
Can you go over who they are and what we're paying if we should look at it? This working, Andy working? service? What is that? $1,200 every month?
And he does our contracting with our health plans. He's actually working on one right now with Dignity Health. We've been dealing with that one for a while.
He's working on it. Right.
He's working on Aetna as well. So yeah, no, he does work for us.
Is he on a month to month?
Yes.
Does he work every month? And do we pay him every month whether he's working or not?
No, we do not. If he's not providing services to us during the month, we do not pay him.
Okay, it seems like every month I've seen his name on there, but I could be wrong. Maybe he's been working lately.
Well, we were doing catch up on some of his payments too. So you're talking about the checklist.
Okay, now see, catch up on the list. Is that something that's over 30 days? Because I haven't seen him on the vendors list over 30 days. Is he a vendor? It looks like.
He's been on the master list. Yes, he's been on there.
How much do we owe him then?
I don't know off the top of my head. I can look when I go back and let you know, but probably 2 months at least, because it depends upon when he gets his bill to us and when we get it in the system to even pay it.
Oh, I thought you were talking like we owed him money that we're just paying it off at $1,200 a month.
Oh,
Okay.
any questions on any of the other contract? You want me to go down each one?
No, I'm okay with the way it is right now. I don't need you to go down each one though. Thank you for offering.
The software for 17,400, which one is that? The top one.
That is the system that medical records uses to code our bills so that we can send our bills out to the insurance and get paid.
Okay, then that's an annual amount.
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. Well, looks good. Good. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay. Thank
Barbara,
you.
was that a new one that was requested not too long ago?
I knew what?
3M's been in place for a long time.
Okay. I just thought there was one like back before Judy, when Judy was here, she'd asked for a new program. I was just wondering if that was updated to that one or something different.
That's billing system.
That was the billing system.
Okay, the
This is for
system
coding.
itself. Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then on working, if you could do a report for next month on maybe the past year, how much we paid them and what was due or what is due.
Sure.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Barbara. Okay. Is that the end of your report, Barbara?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, I'm on my agenda here. I got to get back. I'm working off my computer. I don't have those papers that Heidi gives me.
You're on number 2, the propane bids, Jean.
What page is that?
Page 2.
There's no page.
It doesn't have a page on there. I think it was just something you added to talk about.
Okay, so then this report's going to be over. We're down to that. I apologize.
Correct.
I'm lost in this computer. It didn't go down far enough. Maybe it will now. Let me try it right now. Nope. Okay, on the propane bids. Tim, you were going to make a recommendation that we were going to go ahead and go with the bid, subject to a 30-day cancellation or a year or whatever.
I wanted to go back and relook, readdress that. I certainly, as I shared with you, in looking at the 2 proposals that we were presented with, that I was more comfortable with the current propane bid primarily because of their locking their fees in and then just fluctuating the price of the gas based on the market versus the AmeriGas, which was locking the price of the gas and then fluctuating their fees. But after Bob negotiated the 20-cent discount per gallon on the propane costs, it brought it down to a point where they were both pretty much the same. And so, but the issue is because we, at the time of year right now, we are using very little, if any, propane. We probably won't get an invoice for propane until September, October, because how much fuel we have in our tank. And so the issue at the last meeting was discussed. I think, Gene, you actually made that comment, was that you were satisfied with the work that had been done and that there was plenty of time to negotiate that, and that we would make a vendor change in January if appropriate. So I just want to go back because that was.
Okay. Let's send this to the agenda for consent and let the board talk about it.
Okay.
We lost. If you look at the numbers in the past 5 years that Bob's been here, we've lost approximately $20,000 a year using the same numbers. So you want to just keep going?
I got to go back and relook at those numbers. I don't recall that number.
Okay, well, I do, and I looked at it, and if you got a question,
I have the reports.
okay, and they can do whatever they want. They're gonna make the money.
Don't disagree. I don't disagree. Like I said, we can make the decision this week and do it, but we're not going to buy gas from Kern Propane for another 6 months, probably 5-6 months at least, just because our tank is so full. So
Okay.
that was the whole point. There's no rush to do this right at this moment, but we know when it comes time to do that, we have the ability to do it. So it's up to the board. If the board wants to go ahead and make a decision, that's their prerogative.
Well, that's the board.
Yeah.
And right now, I would like to send it to the board to talk to them about how we could even consider giving complete control to some gas company that can charge whatever they want. They fluctuate their billing however they want.
Okay, but Tim, your recommendation would to go with the Kern River, correct?
I was more comfortable with their bid, yes.
Okay, and so starting in January or whenever we need to fill again. So does that mean we need to let the other company know that we're no longer going to use them for filling?
We would
So they don't
probably want
just
to,
fill
probably want-
up? Or,
you're cutting out.
I'm
Your
sorry.
connection was given up there a little bit, Catherine.
Okay, just to, would we be notifying, after we have the board meeting and make the recommendations and vote on it, then we would then notify the other company so they know not to come and fill in between?
Yes,
Okay. All right, thank you.
you're welcome.
What's
Okay. So,
Pricing.
so Tim, should we bring it to the board now or what do we do?
That is your call. Like I said, we're not going to be buying gas for quite some time. So we can take it now, we can take it 3 months from now as we get closer.
In other words, we own the gas that's out there in that gas tank.
We own the gas in the tank. yes.
So whatever
Right.
we use,
Right,
we just have to make a decision before it's
Correct.
time to fill it up.
that's correct.
Okay.
Well, I would think if we take it to the board, put it on consent now, then it's something we've dealt with because we've been dealing with it for a while, and make the decision with the board this coming meeting and be done with it, I would think would
That's
be our
fine.
best bet.
That's
Okay.
fine.
Put it on the consent agenda. Thank you.
Wait, you want the proposal from Kern River Propane to go on consent?
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you, Heidi.
Mhm.
Okay, and again, apologize, my computer's not showing up the last part. And apparently what should be on there is the benefits paid to the ex-board members. Is that right, Heidi?
That's correct.
Okay. Tim, you were gonna get a ruling from an attorney or IRS?
IRS is indicated that there is no taxable benefit to health benefits. There's no tax effect. There's no 1099 to be issued.
Where is, do you have that? Did you get a copy of it?
I have it.
Okay, can you get a copy to me?
I will.
And that's from the IRS? That's a ruling specifically?
It's from the IRS.
Okay, because the way it's paid, an additional amount in addition to what the rest of the employees are paying, we're paying an additional amount, what he would normally pay. So is that health benefits or is that compensation?
It's health benefits. The board was in a legal position to make that decision to offer that. It was benefits, still benefits, and that's the way it's paid out. I mean, we pay that as a part of our benefits, just like we pay for everybody else.
Okay, but I'd like to see that ruling by IRS. And Heidi, if we can put this on for next meeting, so after I read it,
Okay,
okay?
okay.
Okay, are we ready to adjourn?
I am.
All right,
No arguments here.
thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.